The US cable giant Comcast, owner of NBC Television and Universal Films, today tabled a £22.1 billion bid. Well, that trumps 21st Century Fox's offer, which is currently being held up by regulators. And that's a deal already overshadowed by Disney's proposed takeover of Fox's entertainment assets. Well, Sky shares surged today to levels not seen in almost 2 decades. So is the city right to smell a bidding war? And what do Fox and Disney do next? Well, the FT's global media editor, Matthew Garahan, is with me now to help elucidate. So, Matt, did you see this coming?
There was a suggestion that Comcast were interested in all of the Fox assets. I think before Disney announced this deal to buy those assets, including the stake in Sky, Comcast were in there and were looking around. I don't think anyone expected them to hit the ground running in the way they did today, early in the morning, 7 o'clock, with an announcement that they were going to make a move for Sky.
And not with a price like this. I mean, it's a stupendous sum of money.
Well, in many ways, it reflects a lot of the, a lot of which has changed with Sky in the last, even in the last few weeks with the recent Premier League deal. A lot of savings there, which are going to flow straight to the bottom line. We're going to make those savings are going to make Sky more attractive. Some of the analysts say that, you factor that in, it's worth £13 a share, which is around the level that Comcast is looking at.
Now, Comcast is a massive company in America, $184 billion market capitalisation. Not that well known over here. I mean, what do people need to know about them?
Well, it's a long family-owned, family-controlled company like Fox. Dual-class share structure. The Roberts family have owned it since its inception, I think in 1963. Yeah. Bought a cable system in Tupelo, Mississippi, and then built it into this enormous, sprawling media conglomerate. They own NBC Universal, they own the Universal Studios movie studios, you said, theme parks around the world, the Harry Potter theme park in Florida and other places. I mean, it's a big, hefty company, but its core business is in cable and cable distribution in the United States.
So the big question a lot of people will have is, because Comcast were originally interested in Fox's entertainment assets as well before they agreed to sell those to Disney, is this just a gambit to get Fox back around the table to talk about those assets, or is it simply after Sky, do you think?
Well, I think unclear. I think they offered more money than Disney did for Fox, but Fox liked the aspect of getting shares in Disney, and they like the fact that it'd be from a regulatory perspective, it would be a lot easier to push through in the United States. Sky is kind of, not necessarily the next best thing, but there's a clearer path for Comcast to buy Sky. There's a lot of synergies with its US business. They are pretty much landlocked in the US in terms of their growth. This would be a big opportunity for them to grow in Europe. Sky is a pan-European player. So there's a lot of attraction there. And when we spoke to Brian Roberts this morning, he came into the FT to talk about the rationale for the deal.
Brian Roberts of Comcast.
The Comcast CEO, he made a pretty compelling case that there's a lot of overlap. They like the Sky technology, the Sky Q box. They like Sky News, for example. They're committed to preserving that and preserving its independence. So there's a lot there, I think, that makes sense for them.
The big question, I guess, is what happens next from Fox's point of view, from Disney. I mean, does Fox now come back with a higher offer for Sky? Does Disney even decide to just cut out the middleman and go direct?
This is where it gets complicated. So there's a binding offer for Fox from Disney. Fox has already made a binding offer for Sky itself. If it's going to up its offer, obviously it's Disney's going to have to help it in that regard. Fox will have to make the commitment to do it itself. But if the Murdochs offered it and then didn't get anything out of Disney, it would eat into their end in terms of their sale of those Fox assets to Disney. So we expect that once the deal is cleared regulators, once the Fox Sky offer has cleared the CMA and has received government approval, which we expect it to receive, that at that point Fox makes a bigger offer with Disney's help, and then you have a full-on bidding war with Comcast.
It could be fascinating, couldn't it, to watch that? I mean, but just to be clear, you assume that the government is going to give regulatory approval to the Fox takeover of Sky now that once the CMA have finished looking at it?
Well, we spoke about this last time I was here, but the CMA laid out a sort of roadmap for success for Fox, and Fox has been, in its recent public statements, has sort of suggested that it's inclined to do the things the CMA said would be acceptable remedies, such as ring-fencing Sky News from the influence of the Murdoch family. And those are sort of, relatively minor things in the scheme of things when you think about the fact that Disney's going to end up owning these assets anyway. But of course, the picture's now muddier with Comcast in the frame too.
It certainly is. Well, thanks for helping us to clear it for a bit. Matt Garahan from the FT. Good to see you.